Yo, welcome. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Today is oh today is November 10th, 2024, and I'm going to be going over the weekly market outlook for you guys here today. So let's get right into it. So here I always want to start off my analysis on the dollar and especially on the lower time frames here. Um, or not, I'm sorry, not the lower time frames, the higher time frame relative. So usually like on the 4 hour where I can see my weekly time frame, my monthly and daily. And let me mark out the weekly open here. There's a weekly open for the dollar. All right, so I am on the dollar. I'm neutral here. I have a neutral stance. I am anticipating for us to create this monthly fair value gap here once we close on the monthly candle. So depending on if we close below the second monthly candles fair value gap wicks, if we close below this wick right here, that means we could retrace into this monthly fair value gap to continue higher again. Not too sure. But like I said, I don't have a bias here on the weekly time frame, at least on the dollar. So I would trade on the daily time frame. So I would trade intraday models, and we did have a gap up this week, and it appears that we probably will end up taking out previous day high. I'm not too sure, but we do have a daily fair value gap here. So depending on if we respect this daily fair value gap, will tell me if we will be bearish or bullish. So if we're bullish, if we get a retracement back inside this daily fair value gap, we should expand higher. If we're bullish, and if we're bearish, then after we rebalance the daily fair value gap, we should just completely disrespect it. And yeah, but that's pretty much all I have for the dollar. I'm not really anticipating too much on the weekly time frame at least, but that is why I would switch over to trading intraday models. So now let's get on to the NQ. On NQ, my weekly objective was for prices to take out previous week's high. However, we did that at Sunday's opening price, or at Sunday opening actually. And yeah, we just shot straight up, took out previous week's high. So what am I anticipating now? Well, after we take out previous week's high, right? My objective here, or what I would switch to is I would switch to trading intraday models. So I do want to see how we end up, if we do end up rebalancing this daily fair value gap or not on NQ. And if we do end up rebalancing this daily fair value gap, I am anticipating for prices to hold this daily fair value gap and to help us continue higher. Why is that? Why am I anticipating for prices to respect this daily fair value gap? Well, that is because I want to see prices create a weekly fair value gap here. So this week, I am not anticipating for prices to, trade, completely disrespect this daily fair value gap and have a immediate weekly rebalance. That is something I'm not anticipating. I want to see us create a weekly fair value gap because that would indicate there's strength, there's displacement upwards in the markets. And if you're thinking this in terms with the monthly candle as well, you want to see the monthly candle expand in one direction. So you want to see it continuing higher. I should have done this at the very beginning, but we do have CPI. Okay, yes. So we do have CPI and PPI this week that could, like I said, could expand us in one direction. If we're thinking this in terms with the monthly candle, I do want to see us continue higher with CPI and PPI. But yeah, that's gonna be my weekly analysis on NQ. higher prices. We have already completed the weekly objectives, so now I would switch over to trading intraday models. And ES, same thing on ES. We've yet to take out previous week's high here on ES, which is something that I didn't really. I am still anticipating for prices to take out previous week's high. And you're probably wondering, like, okay, why is this guy thinking that previous week's high is going to be taken? Well, take a look at this weekly candle here. It's very, very simple. This weekly candle, right, is suggesting that we will most likely take out the weekly high. And it's a bullish closure too. And on the daily time frame, there's displacement. Look at all of these fair value gaps here on the daily time frame. There's 1, 2, 3 fair value gaps. That's a lot of strength. That shows there's strength in the markets here. And we have left this fair value gap open, this fair value gap open, and this fair value gap open, which is showing there's strength in the markets. So I do want to see prices take out previous week's high on ES as well as NQ. And after we take out previous week's high, I would anticipate, or I would start trading with the intraday models. So I would like in the middle of the week, I would start targeting, previous day low, previous day high, depending on how we close on the daily candle, because prices is fractal. And like I said before, like NQ, I want to see ES expand in one direction this week for the monthly candles expansion. And yeah, CPI, PPI, usually those market news events will tend to cause prices to move in one direction. And in this case, I want to see prices continue higher. And I also marked out the weekly immediate rebalance. And I don't want to see prices trade all the way back down to here. I want to see us create a weekly fair value gap. So this previous week's high should be protected. It should not be traded back into if we're going to create a weekly fair value gap this week. And yeah, that's going to be pretty much all I have for the weekly analysis. Very straightforward. Higher prices. After we take out the weekly objective on NQ and ES, I would start to take a look at I would start trading intraday models. And intraday models is essentially the same concept as what I'm doing here. So what I'm doing right now is a weekly model, right? I'm analyzing this on the weekly time frame. But if prices is fractal, like ICT states, I can apply this same concept but to the daily time frame, which is why I just called it a daily intraday model. Intraday models. And yeah. So is there anything I'm missing? Higher prices on NQ, higher prices on ES. I'm neutral on the dollar. However, if NQ and ES is trading higher, the dollar should be trading lower. You want to be trading whenever those two markets are trading inversely with each other. So some key points here are CPI and PPI. We have those this week, so beware of the volatility of the markets. The weekly objective for both the indices is previous week's high, which is basically higher prices. I'm anticipating an expansion of the weekly, I'm anticipating an expansion of the monthly candle. And you guys can all get this. I actually forgot to post this on my Discord, but I use Discord for numerous reasons. I talk to members there if they need any help. I post daily motivational quotes and bunch of trading related stuff there. So if you guys do want to join the Discord channel, you guys can check it out in my YouTube bio. Yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the weekly analysis. Is there anything else I want to go over here? So I do want to let you guys know that there is 3 videos coming out. I'm going to be releasing a equilibrium model an expansion model, and a rebalance model. Essentially, what those three models here is why do prices move? We move prices move to rebalance inefficiencies, which is basically retracing back or like trading back into a fair value gap. So first thing is rebalancing inefficiencies, retracing back into premium discount. So a premium discount could be something like from this swing low to this swing high. If prices starts to, drift off lower, where can we target the premium of this range? So that's the second objective, is to retrace back into premium and discount. And third thing is to take liquidity. We move to take liquidity. Fourth is to generate liquidity. Whenever we're in consolidation of markets, we tend to create highs and lows. That's generating liquidity. So just keep that in mind. 4 reasons why prices moves, and I'll go more into depth with those concepts in each one of those PowerPoints here. But yeah, that's going to be all for today's video. Thank you guys so much for being patient, and until next time, peace out.